Good morning, Ivana. Happy Saturday. Get started in a couple minutes. Okay, good morning, Stacy, as well. It's 7:15, so we're going to get started, and we're going to begin a child's pose. We'll just have about 5 to 7 breaths in that posture before we move on. So if you're not there already, find a nice wide space between the knees, your forehead on the mat, and just let yourself settle to the earth. Not a lot to do here other than arrive. And if your back is tight, you might take the knees a little closer together, but in child's pose, the forehead can rest on the mat or a block, just to allow the head to soften. So you're not holding up and tensing the neck. Everything that's touching the earth, let it drop towards it. And a couple of rounds of breath here. Full inhale. Full exhale. Let's do that a couple more times. Spread the fingers wide if they're on the mat. And once you're full, let the breath go. And we practice our ujjayi in yoga, but also so important just staying with the breath, whether you ever get to any other to pranayama, which is deliberate controlled breath, but just the inhale and exhale, making sure that feels spacious and full. That's a great place to begin. Take another full breath in, and then let the breath out. Okay, from here, you're going to rise up to tabletop, give the hips a little wag. And then once in tabletop, we'll thread the needle. Let's take the right arm either up and high before we thread, or you take it right under your left arm. You'll let the head drop and take a moment to sort of shimmy the head forward a little bit. We tend to tuck it very close to the body, but maybe provides a little more space to kind of inch it forward a little bit away from your chest. You should feel this through the right upper back, your shoulder blade, maybe even down towards the right side of your back as well. Breathing big and letting it go. Breath full and letting it go. One more like that. Fill it up. And then let it go. Come back up to tabletop. Sweep the right arm high once again, and then release it. Let's find a cow pose, dropping the belly, lifting the heart. And then round into cat. Press the thighs together, head drop. Shake the head out while you're there. Hold that feeling of being empty. And then take another round. Inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the tail. Exhaling, rounding shoulders to the ceiling. Drop the head. One more just like that. Anything additional, maybe in cow with the heart open, you dip one shoulder and then the other. And then rounding to cat, wiggling the hips, maybe sinking them back towards your heels. Another deep breath in. And then back to center. We'll take the left arm high. We'll thread the needle on the other side. And this is a really nice warm up for the back, the sides of the belly, the obliques. The neck is getting a little stretch here. Once again, maybe just a little movement of the head away from the body for more space. Big breath in, full breath out. All right, one more just like that. And then press back up to tabletop. Now we'll tuck the toes under, all 10 toes, up and back, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Moving around in your dog, or maybe it's enough to stay right here. And if your heels never touch the earth, that's fine. You should see some nice wrinkles in the ankles. So you've got some good flexion there. But if you're driving the heels down, straightening the legs, if the legs are tight, then they're just pulling on everything else in the body. So instead, really concentrate on setting your foundation by imagining the heels pulling towards the earth, but all 10 toes stamping down, the inner heels drawing in and back towards the back of your mat. And a bend in the knees so you can pull the backs of the thighs behind you. Full breath in. Full breath out. And then gaze up at your hands, spread the fingers wide so you can feel all 10 fingers pressing down into the mat. Big breath in. Big breath out. All right, we're going to press up the feet and come to high plank. So press forward, gazing past your fingertips, and then eventually past the front of your mat. And then this is a challenging pose for sure. Start to feel the core working. And sometimes the heels flop off to the side. So try to draw the heels towards each other so that they point up towards the ceiling. You'll just feel them land where they're supposed to. And we'll hold here. We'll take another big breath in. And then up and back, downward facing dog. Reset. And stay with the breath. And then let's do that again. Press up the feet, high plank. Gazing past fingertips, then eventually past the front of your mat, back of the neck lengthening. Once you're full, up and back, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. One more time, press up to high plank. Heels pointing up towards the sky, gazing forward. Press the heels of the palms down, almost like you get even higher away from the mat, so the back lifts, and then downward facing dog. Breath in, and side away. Take your feet together to touch. We're gonna reach the right leg high. Once it's there, roll the right ankle, flutter the toes, get some space. Take another big breath in, bend your knee, open up your hip. Yeah, and keep that bend in the left knee so you have space. Feel your biceps rotate away from each other. Inner elbows of the arms trying to gaze to the front of the room. The elbows, not your gaze. Take another big breath in, and then step the right foot forward to your right hand. We're in a low lunge. Deep breath in, deep breath out. You're gonna start to shift forward and find a standing leg split. So left leg to the sky, right leg takes the weight, head heavy. So feel all the vertebrae in your neck. Release. You can even take your hand to the back of your neck and encourage the head to drop. Head dropping, more important than the left leg, lifting, taking a big breath in. Get nice and small by bringing your left knee behind your right knee for a squat. So it's a Shiva squat, hands are on the mat. And then you'll shoot your left leg back to that low lunge. Breath in, Left hand comes down to the earth, right arm high, simple twist. And same thing now, what we just did in down dog with the legs. Don't worry about straightening your back leg completely. We're still warming up. More importantly, can we breathe? Can we open the chest? Can we lift it away from the earth? Take another full breath in. And then hands to the mat. We're gonna walk them to a straddle leg split. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna have my back and behind towards you, but I'm gonna show you walking the hands so we're nice and long on the mat, toes pointing forward, and we're in a straddle fold. Head drops, knees, a nice gentle bend. Lots of options here, so I will turn it around to face you. You can walk the hands forward and have this like dramatic downward facing dogs straddle, or you can walk the hands through your legs, let the head and shoulders drop. Breath in, big breath out. Feel free to move around, bending the knees a bit, shaking the head. One more full breath in, and then you'll walk your hands forward back to your right foot. So you're in this low lunge, and then you'll step back, high plank. Let's hold here in high plank for 3, 2, 1. Let's lower to low plank for 3. Bend the elbows, keep them pointing back behind you. Press back to high plank and downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Nice work. Feet together to touch. Left leg to the sky. And same thing here. Flutter the toes. Roll the ankle. Get some space. And then when you're ready, you'll bend that left knee, peel it open. Breath in, breath out. All right, another big breath in. Keep the hands rooted, stay connected. And then left foot steps to the left hand. We're in this low lunge. Breath in, breath out. Getting ready to take standing leg split. One trick is to feel like the feet are tractioning towards each other. Momentum in our core, or stability in our core to bring the right leg up, to have the left leg take the weight, head heavy. And again, you can take your hand to the back of your neck, to your head. All right, another full breath in. Find your right knee now behind your left, both knees bend. So you can get nice and small and have the core strength to shoot the right leg back to that low lunge where we began. Right hand comes down now, left arm to the sky for a twist. Same thing now on this side, not trying to stretch that back leg nice and long yet. We're still warming up the body, but instead really concentrating on the twist, getting your spine nice and long so you can breathe. Another full breath in. Hands come down. Now we'll do the same straddle fold. We'll walk our hands between our legs and we're in a fold. Same thing. You can walk your hands through and shake the head out. You can walk them forward and get a nice flat back. Big breath in. Big breath out. Shake it out. Big breath in. Big breath out. All right, we'll walk our hands back to our left foot and we'll step back high plank. Once again, we'll hold for 3, 2, 1. We'll lower to low plank for 3, 2, 1. But this time we'll drop all the way down to the mat for baby cobra. You'll take the elbows back behind you. You'll lift the chest. You'll lift the heart. And the tops of the feet press down. So there are the ankles hugging towards each other. Again, makes such a subtlety that makes a big difference. You feel the legs ignite, the glutes. You lift the heart. One more big breath in. And then fold, release. Walk the arms in front of you so you can put your forearms down on the mat for Sphinx pose. It's our second back bend. And in Sphinx, you can go a little deeper again to check in with the heels. Point them up towards the ceiling, forearms spreading or pressing the earth away, fingers spreading wide. And then you might lift the right leg up off the mat. Once you lift it, the toes are reaching back behind you. Heart is coming through your arms, full breath in. And you might switch to the other side. Left leg lifting, toes reaching back behind you. One more deep breath in. Sphinx pose, lift, and then release. Bring your hands back by your ribs. You're welcome to take an up dog into down dog. I'm going to skip it and press up and find downward facing dog. Breath in and side away. Really nice. Let's move through some sun A's. We'll bend the knees a lot and then we'll walk to the front of the mat. Let's take this one slow. Inhale to a flat back. Feel the feet spreading. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees a lot so you can hug your chest towards your thighs. Come all the way to standing. Press the feet down. See the thighs ignite on your way up, arms overhead, and then hands to heart center. We'll just pause for a moment. We're gonna move through some sun A's, a little quicker pace with our high to low plank. Sweep the arms overhead. Dive forward, exhale. So your pace is your breath, to be exact. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, step it back. High to low, your back bend of choice. And downward facing dog. Breath in and let it go. Let's do two more. Bend the knees a lot. Heels lift, front of the mat, exhale. Inhale, find length. Exhale, forward fold. Sweep to standing, come all the way up. And then dive forward. Let the breath go. Inhale. Hands to the mat, chaturanga. Make sure you feel your strength in low plank. We're not rushing through, but we're feeling the movements and the transitions in the breath. One more time, bend the knees a lot. Seat back, see where you're going. Front of the mat, hopper step. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Sweep to standing, come all the way up. And then fold it, let it go, head heavy. It's the last thing to drop. Hands to shins, hands to the mat, chaturanga, high to low. Plenty of time. Enjoy the breath in to open the chest and to root on the exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in and let it go. Really nice work. Breath in. Side away. All right, let's lift the heels, bend the knees, front of the mat once again. Breath in, length. Breath out, fold. Let's find Utkatasana, chair pose. Bend the knees, sink your seat back. And this will be for 5 breaths, Utkatasana. And as it gets challenging, the heat begins to build. One tip is we try to maintain equal inhale to exhale when we practice, but a lot of the time the exhale is, there are many times where it's longer than the inhale because it's a soothing breath. It's what calms the nervous system. So when we slow it down, on the breath out, we can stay where we are. We can give some calm, provide some calm to the mind. But juice it a little deeper if that's where you're ready to go this morning. Take another full breath in and then let it go. Exhale. Hands to shins, find length. And then through your chaturanga, high to low. You'll find an up dog or a back bend and then downward facing dog. Really nice work. Shake the head out and let it go. All right, take your right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Bend your knee, open up your hip for a breath. And then sweep your right knee to your nose on an exhale, round the upper back, holding here, engaging the core. Right leg to the sky. Now your right knee to your right elbow. So same side. The body here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up and back. Inhale. We're going to take it over to the left elbow for 5, 4, 3, 2. And then we're going to transition into this fallen star. So we'll lengthen the right leg over to the left. Drop the left foot down parallel to your mat. And left arm reaches overhead. Hips reaching high. Take another full breath in. Come back to three-legged dog. So right leg up and back. And then once more, sweep that right foot forward to your right hand. Low lunge. Big breath in. Big breath out. All right, you're going to come up to crescent lunge. Arms reach overhead. Then in crescent lunge, move around a little bit, feel your feet, feel your center. It is humid today, woo. But deep bend through the front thigh so that we can feel the right heel pressing down, leveraging the earth. Arms reaching up, maybe the gaze following. Take another full breath in. And then let's take hands to heart center, exhale. We're gonna come forward over the front thigh and we're gonna find our twist. So this can be a really high twist, it can be low with the back knee down, you choose. But again, don't fight to get that back leg straight. And we lose the openness through the chest. We don't want to do that. In fact, this idea or this tip of bringing the chin to the chest is such a difference than throwing the head back, because when we draw the chin towards the chest, the neck lengthens and all of a sudden we can get all this breath through the upper back. Full inhale, full exhale. Twisting is really good for detoxing. Take another full breath in. And then we're going to take hands to the earth and we're going to back the hips up and walk the left foot slightly forward for a pyramid pose. So walk your left toes are to about 10 o'clock, front toes point forward. Little bend in that front knee. Some of you may be able to straighten the leg completely, but the chest drops. Shake it out. Full inhale. Full exhale. All right, now we're going to pivot on the back foot enough so we can pick up the back foot and step it back so we have a wider stance. And because we're going to turn this into warrior one, so we're going to drop the back foot. So similar to how the feet just were, but more space between them. And then we'll rise up, arms overhead. Arms lifting, armpits sitting in and up, deep bend through that front thigh. I'm sure it's burning for you guys like it is for me. Take another big breath in. Sweep the arms back behind you. Interlace them at your lower back. Let the heart open. The knuckles drop. Maybe gaze up, open the throat. And then we're going to fold again, this time humbling our warrior. So similar to where we were, but maybe the bind remains and the stance is wider, the front knee stays bent. Head drops, body drops inside of that right thigh. Really nice work. Full breath in, full breath out. That right heel or the right glute pulls back towards the left heel. Keeping things connected. Take another full breath in, your humble warrior. And then on an exhale, let the hands come down to the earth and step it back. Move through your chaturanga or meet us in downward facing dog. Big breath in, big breath out. Then we'll step the feet together, left leg lifts. Same thing, bend the knee, open up the hip. And then the knee comes to meet the nose, rounding the upper back, getting into this little ab work. Left leg up and back. Now the left elbow, pausing for 5, 4. Keep pressing down to the heels of the palms. Don't sink the belly to the earth. Keep that rounding of the upper back. Inhale the left leg high. Now the last bit to the right elbow, so that's cross body for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fallen star. So you shoot the left leg over to the right, back foot parallel to the back of your mat, hips lifting. Got this for 2 more. 1 more big breath in. And then hands to the mat, left leg high, 3-legged dog. Sweep the left foot through. You're in your low lunge. Let's pause for a breath. And let it go. And then crescent lunge. Arms overhead. Whew. Again, once we find different ways to breathe, even just to begin to observe the breath in different poses, how it changes, can really help us modify where we need to slow down, to speed up, maybe to let go. That exhale a little bit longer. And a lot of instances to calm us. And knowing that we can deliberately slow it down. Or sometimes we make it really loud to have that feeling, that sense of letting go with a big lion's breath. All right, hands to heart center. Here we go, the twist on this side. So first we come forward, really feel that left foot, the left thigh hugging towards the middle of your mat. And then we twist. Again, not forcing that back leg. Many times I'd walk over to a student and try to lift their back thigh, which is good alignment, but you might not be ready. The hamstrings are really tight. So we shape our practice completely. Never go wrong by, you can never go wrong by using a block, bringing the earth to you. Prioritizing space, the breath, another full inhale. And then hands to the mat. We're gonna find that pyramid pose. So we'll walk the back foot up enough and then hips back, head drops. You're truly resting on the front thigh. And this should be a big stretch for the back of that left leg, left glute, seeking the right heel. So that's going to draw that hip back. All right, another big breath in. And then we'll pivot on the back foot and step our stance a little wider. We know we're going to warrior 1. So we want enough space to drop the back foot down once again, but now a deep bend through the front thigh. Back foot, I just realized mine is kind of hanging out there. So the inner arch is stamping down. But then I lost the breadth of the foot, the full platform. So make sure you can feel the outer arch too, the pinky toe, the heel. And then squeeze the thighs gently towards each other. Maybe gaze up, warrior 1. And then arms back behind you. Keep the chest open. Interlace opposite thumb on top now. Drop the knuckles. And then as you humble, not losing your foundation. So feet rooting, deep bend through that front thigh, head dropping. And of all the things that are challenging about now demoing and teaching, speaking, the hardest is when you're in a forward fold to talk. In humble warrior, you are really letting go, but you've built this deep foundation. So you can do just that. Notice every exhale, the belly gets nice and flat. You can hinge a little deeper. You have that support to go there. Take another full breath in. And then hands to the mat. You'll flow through your chaturanga, or you'll meet us in down dog. Another option, if you're skipping a back bend, I've been doing high to low plank, back to high. That's the breath in, where you'd normally back bend, and down dog. All right, breath in. Shake the head out, side away. Really nice work. Let's bend the knees a lot. Look forward, front of the mat, exhale. Lengthen and fold. Utkatasana, chair pose, bend your knees, sink your seat. Uttanasana is your forward fold. Lengthening. And then high to low, flow through. Downward facing dog. We'll step the right foot forward, warrior one. We're gonna open up warrior two. Nice work. And then you'll flip the front palm, come up and back, reverse your warrior. And then you'll side angle lunge, exhale. You'll inhale, side angle. And then you'll exhale, left hand to the mat, right hand to the mat, high to low plank. That's it. Breath in. Downward facing dog, breath out. Left leg lifts. We'll sweep that forward, warrior one. Down the back foot rise. And then open up, warrior two. A couple breaths here to settle, first time here. And then once we're settled, life makes us move. So we'll flip the front palm, come up and back. And then side angle lunge, top arm up and over. Another breath to settle in. And then on the exhale, right hand comes down, pivoting on the back foot, and left hand high to low. Find your back bend. And then downward facing dog. Breath in. And side away. We'll do that one more time. A little more quickly if you'd like, but there's a breath, there's at least one breath or two in some cases for each pose here as we move through. So bend your knees, look forward, front of the mat, exhale. Inhale, fold, Utkatasana, and then Uttanasana. Hands to shins, chaturanga. And downward facing dog, right foot forward, warrior one. Open it up, warrior two. With the breath, flip reverse. With the breath, side angle. We'll stay for an inhale to lengthen. And then hands to the mat, exhale. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior one. Warrior two. Breath up and back, reverse. Breath out, lands. And then you get a nice, beautiful inhale to stay. Exhales the hands to the mat. And then flow through. Breath in. Breath out. Deep breath in. Just a couple breaths here. If you need child's pose, you're welcome to take it. Otherwise, downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Deep breath in. Side away, let the face be soft. All right, from here, we're gonna walk our hands back to our feet. And once we arrive, you're welcome to take a forward fold, or you'll take your feet wide for a squat. Toes out, heels in. Hands at heart center. And if you're in squat pose, just notice the feet pressing the earth away, which lifts, gives us that ability to lift the seat slightly from the earth or away from. And then from here, you might take crow pose. Otherwise, you'll just stay here, Malasana. If you guys hear mewing, I have a new kitten, and she likes to be in here while I'm doing yoga. I'm trying to avoid her clawing my feet. And if you could hear her purring right now, it's quite cute. All right, from Malasana, we're gonna come all the way to standing. So engage your core, already feel this sense of lift, and then press your feet down, lift all the way up. And then bring the feet together to touch. By the way, if you can not do something or you choose not to do it, you take your own path, we meet, and that's all good. Back of the mat, we're gonna take our hands by our sides, and we're simply gonna walk to the front of our mat. Once we arrive, we're gonna balance on the right leg, lift the left knee, hands at heart center. And then you're gonna take your left foot for tree and bring it inside of your right thigh. Arms reach overhead. Gaze is in front of you, at least for the first breath. And then maybe you start to walk your gaze up the wall, towards the ceiling. It's a self-made back bend through the gaze. I guess they're all self-made. Take another big breath in. And then you're gonna bring your left knee back to center and cross your left leg over your right, eagle pose. So now we're bending the standing knee, the left arm wraps under the right. And this force of, or these sort of a dual forces, the back wants to reach behind me, like to find the wall, but my elbows are reaching forward, so I'm getting this beautiful stretch around the shoulder blades. The thighs are hugging towards each other, almost like an Utkatasana seat. You'll take another full breath in, and then come to standing. Shimmy the legs out. We're gonna switch to the left leg, and we're gonna start with eagle this time. So we'll lift the right knee, we'll bend the left, and we'll hug the thighs together. Right arm sweeps under the left now, just as we were, but on the other side. Deep bend through that left leg. Pulling the shoulders back towards the wall behind us. When we do that, can't help but lengthen the back of the neck, crown of the head, the ears reaching for the ceiling, roof of the mouth as well. Take another full breath in, and then come to standing, but lift the right knee. So you're balancing on the left leg still. And this time we're gonna find a twist. So the left hand finds the right knee, right arm opens. Take another full breath in. Come back to center. Now kick your right foot back behind you to catch it, left arm to the sky. So this is prep for a dancer. We're not taking it yet. We're simply, it's almost like a one-legged hero's pose. Standing. The gaze is lifting. You should already feel some back bending happening here. But nowhere to go but right foot in your right hand, left arm reaching, full breath in, and then to standing release. This time on the right leg, the left knee lifts and we come right into eagle. Sweep the left arm under. Eagle pose. Get that drishti, likely staring at your wrists, but just landing the gaze. Take another full breath in, and then to standing with the left knee, we'll find that twist. Right hand to your left knee, left arm opening. And we'll come back to center. Now the left foot kicks back. It's that standing prep for dancer. Not there yet, but enough to feel that space, the heart coming through the chest, pointing forward and then up. Another full breath in, and then to standing. Okay, we're back on the left leg. Nice work, stay with me. And we're gonna find eagle. Last time on this side. Oh, I'm sorry, we're gonna find tree, then eagle. So left leg standing, right foot meets your inner left thigh. Arms can extend, gaze starts forward. You might like your arms really wide here to open the heart, or you could bind, interlacing, pressing, flipping the palms up towards the ceiling. Another big breath in. Now that last eagle, right leg over the left, right arm sweeping under. All right, another full breath in. And then to standing release. We're gonna come back onto the right leg, and this time we are gonna take dancer if you like. You'll take the full pose, or you'll take the version we were just in. So right arm to the sky and reaching back to catch my left foot. This is enough if I keep the thighs hugging towards each other, or I might like to start to kick my left foot back, my right hand reaching. Every breath creating space between those 2 points. You've got 3. Keep the standing toes light, not gripping. I know it's hard to do, but just a reminder. 1 more big breath in. And to standing release. We'll set it up on the other side, move around in the feet for a moment, and then left arm high. Right foot kicks back, and there we are. That's enough where we begin to create that space and the bowing effect of the torso. Reaching. So if the left hand is reaching, make sure to spin that palm open. You're really reaching out as you kick the foot back. Now for 3, for 2, nice, hug the lifted knee towards the midline, breath in, and then to standing release. Beautiful job. Standing, you'll take the arms high, reaching Tadasana, and then forward fold, exhale. Hands to shin, spine length. Hands to the mat, chaturanga, flow it through, high to low. Nice job. Upward facing dog, hi Nikki. Downward facing dog. Breath in and sigh something away. Breath in, let it go. Let's take the right leg up and back. We're gonna flip our dog, so if you'd rather Setu Bandha or something else, all good. You'll bend the right knee and let the feet meet on the mat, and then find your back bend, opening the heart. Breath in, breath out. Keep the thighs hugging towards each other to engage the belly, to lift the hips, open the throat, and then come back to downward facing dog. Breath in, let it go. Now the left leg lifts on breath, knee bends on the exhale, and then you begin to flip. And then when we flip, sometimes it does get messy. We flip and we've got this big wide stance, or we're way off our mat. So you take the time to shimmy your feet back on your mat, and then the back bend arrives. Maybe not as deep as the day before, but that's okay. Do let the head drop if there's space there. Sternum lifting. Take another full breath in. And back to downward facing dog. Fill it up. And let it go. Really nice work. Make sure you have a block at the top of your mat. We're just going to do a couple more standing poses. We'll sweep the right leg high, and then we'll step it forward For warrior one, we'll open up warrior two. Breath in, breath out. Your blocks at the top of your mat, you'll flip, reverse your warrior. And then we'll side angle lunge, exhale, left arm up and over. We're just here for 3 breaths, and then we're gonna transition to another balancing pose for 2. 1 more big breath in. We'll pivot on the back foot, find your block. So the block's gonna come forward of your left shoulder, and this is revolved half moon. So we're gonna start to bring the block forward enough. Before we revolve, it's standing on one leg, the right leg, the left inner heel pressing back behind you, heart and gaze forward. Then once you have length, you can start to revolve. I find that if you have a block, for most of us, the highest height is magic here. There's not a lot of rotation in the lower spine for this. It really is about lengthening and finding the twist from the belly and opening up the chest. Lots of space between the shoulders. All right, take another full breath in. And then from your revolved half moon, we're gonna find half moon. This is the last standing pose on our right side. Pass the block to the other hand, and same way you came into the revolved version, find length first. Fire up the back leg, gaze forward, then begin to twist. Twist from the torso towards the left. And if you feel wobbly, it's exactly what this pose is meant to feel like. You've been working hard, firing up the muscles. Ardha Chandrasana. Take another full breath in. Maybe gaze up, even if you fall out, who cares? 1 more full inhale. And then exhale, release to the front of your mat. Let your head drop, take your feet wide, find your big toes, bind them, and then let the head drop. You know, both knees can be bent here. You can sway the torso side to side. I like to get a deep stretch for the legs and take one leg and straighten it, pressing the thigh back in a deep bend through the opposite knee. Maybe shifting over to the other side. We'll take 1 more big breath in. And then we're going to just step back to downward facing dog. Of course, you have a chaturanga option, but not necessary. We'll take the left leg high and we'll step it forward, warrior 1. Rise. And then open warrior 2. We'll settle in for a few breaths. Left thigh rotating away or rotating open. And then we'll flip the front palm, come up and back. Side angle lunge. It's also really nice that often in a class we don't have time to do the same pose more than once generally, but it can feel really good to come back in to a pose we've already been in. It's my personal opinion. And then we're gonna find our revolved half moon on this side. So let's come in the same way we did before. The block is under the right hand now. And first, I'm gonna find my standing leg, my back leg as well. Inner heel, rooting back. Now gazing forward, lengthening the torso. You can even take your hand to your belly. Feel the engagement on an exhale. Then the last thing we'll do is twist. And left hand can come to your left hip, elbow pointing up, or you'll take the full opening. Take another full breath in. And then we're gonna come into traditional half moon, passing the block to our other hand, same approach, lengthening through that standing leg. That's working so hard. Back leg firing it up. Now a little more openness in this revolving. So in this half moon. So where we were in revolved, the leg is completely straight, thigh, back leg, thigh pointing towards the floor. In half moon, there's a twist and we're opening. So the thigh is still rotating down, but not fully down. There's, it's not just a closed hip. All right, take another full breath in. And then to the mat, release your feet. Nice. You're going to take the feet wide once again and drop to a squat. Hands to heart center. Breath in. Breath out. Okay, our time together flew by so fast. Oh my. Okay, so we're in squat and we're going to take it right to the earth. Drop your butt. Drop your back to the mat. And bring your knees just over your hips so your shins are parallel to the floor. And from here, we're going to come right into yoga bicycle. So hands behind your head. We'll lengthen the left leg, left elbow to your right knee for 1. We'll switch for 2. We're going to do 50. Here's your spoiler. 4, 5, 6, 7. You're welcome to go at a faster pace or slow it down. You should definitely feel the belly working. 15, 16, 7, 8, 9, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're halfway there. I'm going with you. Boom, boom. Last 17, 16, 15, 14, 3, 2, 1. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Breath in. Breath out. Okay, you're going to wrap your right leg around your left, like you're seated in a chair, like eagle legs. And then you're going to take your hands and place them on top of your right thigh or your left. It doesn't matter. We'll do both sides. Whatever thigh is on top, you're going to press the thighs away from you as you lift the chest and draw the thighs towards you. So the thighs are hugging towards your chest, but your hands are saying no. For 5, 4, keep lifting the shoulders. 3, 2, and release. That one's a doozy. Doesn't look like much. And then the left leg over the right, or whatever side you haven't done, hands to that top thigh. We'll lift the chest. We'll try to hug the thighs towards the chest, but the hands are pressing them away. Last 5, 4, 3, shoulders lifting. One more big breath in. Whew, and release. Take a full body stretch. Lengthen the legs in front of you. Sweep the arms overhead. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. While you're here, keep the left leg lengthening. Take the right knee and give it a squeeze. Really hug it in. Stretch the lower back, the hip. And then you'll take the right knee across for a supine twist. We are going to come into hip openers soon. This is just a little detour. Let the shoulders, out that space between the shoulder blades, drop towards the mat. Even if it doesn't reach or they don't reach, just that idea of sinking towards it. And then come back to center. This time give the left knee a hug and not moving into your supine twist yet. Really feel that hugging in. A deep stretch. And then take the left knee across the body, left arm opening. Space right between the shoulder blades heavy. Same with the space between the brows. Right between the eyes, let that be heavy. All right, and then come back to center. If you're gonna take half pigeon, you'll rock up, otherwise reclining on your back. If you're rocking up, you'll cross the legs so that you can bring the left leg back. Some of us have to start from down dog, but if not, you just sweep the right leg forward, left leg back, and here's the ankle cue again. Ankle points up or heel points up towards the ceiling. And then there's a couple breaths here where we can just let that right hip sink down towards the earth, eventually walking the hands forward, dropping the chest. I like to experience all the places in between, but you might go right to what you're working on, and that's okay. But you will let yourself be here for as many breaths as will stay, which I'll just tell you will be about 5. And I went paddle boarding with a friend yesterday afternoon, and I hadn't been, since last summer, and it was really fun. But I woke up today and my forearms were so sore. They woke me up out of my sleep, and my hands were all cramped and sore. And it was just purely, it was so windy, so it was really hard to paddle. And it was just from using muscles, right? The muscles that we don't use. But I was pretty shocked. And it's a reminder, we do a lot in yoga, and I am a huge culprit of doing what's comfortable or what feels good, which to some extent we need to listen to and honor our bodies. And what feels good can also be very much led by intuition and knowing what we need. But there's some challenge too, and that challenge is not only, or there should be room for challenge and testing our edge and growing. So it's good to try something different in your practice. It's good to know when we get stuck in patterns, to see them. And sometimes it takes a really long time to do anything about them, but seeing them is a really good start. All right, one more big breath in and let it go. Nice work. Let's find the other side. So if you're in on your back, that's easy to make that switch. If you were in prone pigeon, you'll find down dog and then sweep the left leg forward. Same thing, back leg lengthening. And then when you're ready, chest can drop. And just notice if you're holding any tension. Forget so often in our practice to think about the face. We check in with the shoulders and the neck and all these other major places, but the face can be so nice to just bring attention to, or so helpful to bring attention to that spot between the eyes, the jaw, the ears. I was listening to a podcast by a physical therapist who's a yoga instructor, and she was answering listeners' questions. And someone said, why is it when I reach my left arm overhead, I feel it on the right side of my upper back? Of course, she went into this elaborate, this elaborate explanation around the muscles that are connected and what moves what, which I don't remember half of. But then she said, basically, it also boils down to, it's like when people knit, there are these elaborate patterns and this weaving of all the muscles and the fascia, and everything's connected. So this idea that we can't do anything in the body without affecting the rest of it. So I love this idea of softening the face and being able to soften something else in the body as a result. It gives us so much to work with. All right, one more big breath in. And then you're going to press yourself back up to seated. We are going to come into Shavasana, so we have time, but you're welcome, because we didn't get to everything we ever can in these classes, to find a shoulder stand or something after, or to stay on, do whatever else you need this morning. But we're gonna come all the way down, take a full body stretch, flop the feet off to the side, take up a lot of space on your mat, arms by your side. And we can use that same practice we've been working with all morning of dropping towards the earth. So the shoulders heavy, that space between the shoulder blades, it might not touch down, but it's dropping towards the earth as well. Lower back, the thighs heavy. And that space right between the eyebrows, that drop down through the back of the head. Shavasana. Okay, take a big breath in. Let that breath go. If you have the time, you're welcome to stay. Otherwise, bring the knees and give them a squeeze and rock over to your right side. Press up to seated. And once we arrive, we'll take hands to heart center in our seated position. Closing our practice in gratitude, we'll take the thumbs right under the brow bones and just that gentle pressing up to lift the heart, to lift the gaze. We'll bow to each other in gratitude. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining this morning. I can't wait to see you guys in the studio again. This was my little friend that was here for class, in case you'd like to meet